Jaime Fenol, and I'm the Senior Commercial Manager for Spain for Starbucks in MBB. We are making this video to tell you a little bit more about the journey that the Starbucks has had in Spain since we launched in 2013. But I think that to tell us the beginning is better to speak with Ignacio, which is the General Manager of Spain, and he has been here from the beginning and he knows much more.
I remember when Jon Starup presented to us the project of Starbucks. The first day was to put in love with the opportunity to have this fantastic brand in Spain. The situation in Spain in this period, we sold 7,000 tons. Spain is 12 times bigger than Denmark. We are a very small organization with only 13 people. We could convince Starbucks to give the opportunity to us to sign a contract of distribution.
The Spanish retail environment is quite unique, it's really fragmented, and there are dozens of different retailers around Spain, most of them regionals. So it was kind of a complicated job to start building the distribution among all of them.
It was a very difficult times because we need to convince all the retailers to work with Starbucks in a small business and with only one important player that you know was Emi with Kaiku name. The business plan presented to Starbucks was taking attention to have the business of Mercadona, that this is more or less the 50% of the market in this category, in this period. But when we presented in London the project, Mercadona wanted to have the total exclusivity, and ARLA Spain say no.
So after the reject from Mercadona, we had to focus on the remaining 50% of the market. On top of that, in 2014, we also had the introduction of Nestlé with the Nescafé Saquísimo that made this job even more difficult because they were counting with the strength of Nestlé and Lactalis, and they were achieving the distribution really fast and closing some doors for us.
But the problems need to solve with creativity and start to think about new ideas to develop the business in other areas that nobody taking attention.
We started to think outside the box and we needed to define different route to markets and different channels that would allow us to expand and let the people know that they could buy Starbucks outside the coffee houses.
And was when we thought about the opportunity to develop a new channel that was the petrol station.
We realized that the petrol station were the perfect place for us to be. It's a type of convenience store where people is not so concerned about the pricing. It's more impulse driven, and the need when people, the type of shopper mission that they develop in these petrol stations, it's pretty much related with activation, with need to wake up, etc. So it's a perfect place for our RTD products. We push and we managed to enter in the biggest petrol station chain in Spain, Repsol. These petrol stations today represent more than 17% of the market in value, and Starbucks represent more than 60% of the market share of this channel. We have hundreds of coolers in Spain, and especially they are really helpful in the petrol station channel. In the stores like this one that they had a cooler, the increase is more than 30%. So we are still looking for increase the investment on coolers, especially for this channel, because we think it's the perfect tool for us to increase sales. So after the success that we had in the petrol station channel, we realized that there could be other untraditional channels with a huge potential for the Starbucks products. The problem was to find the proper route to market to reach this type of stores and how to reach them. We have been trying to find different solutions, and at some moment we thought that the best one was to partner up with some national distributor for soft drinks, namely Pepsi, and we did a test for a full year, and the problem was that it was so successful that they decided to go with their own RTD coffee brand. Also, during all these years, of course, we haven't forget about the traditional channel. It represents still the biggest part of our business, and we have been focusing on gaining market share and distribution and being relevant at the point of sale. We could say that we have been quite successful. We are today at the 18% market share, where the leader is by far the private label, and we are right behind Kaiku. Many different players, many different competitors, they have been trying to enter in this category, namely Coca-Cola, with Honest, also Monster, and many different coffee local players that wanted to start in the RTD business, and all of them have failed. None of them reached more than 2% market share. So we believe that we are doing the things great, and we are defending our position in the biggest channel, which is the retailers. For more than a year now, Starbucks has been the highest growing brand in the market, even more than the private label. We are investing big time in digital, and we are also doing out-of-home campaigns in order to maintain the brand relevant and increase the product awareness among the Spanish consumers. In terms of volumes, since the beginning, we have been growing every single year versus the previous one, and we expect for next year to be above the 4,000 tons, and with our Grow Together plans 26, we expect to be over the 6,000 tons by the end of that year. We hope that you have feel inspired somehow by our story, and we'll be happy to resolve any doubt that you may have. So please reach us anytime.